This conference will now be recorded.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I believe we do not have any amendments. I just need adoption of the agenda. Any further discussions? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Passes 5-0-0. Review the minutes from September 2nd, regular meeting minutes.
Regular meeting minutes.
Second that. Any further discussions? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Passes 5-0-0. Review the minutes from our work session from 9/9.
I'll make a motion to approve September 9th work session.
Any further discussions? All in favor? Opposed? Passes 5-0-0. Accounts payable, Horvath.
We look down the line here at 76389, the Empire Pipe Service, that's for the scoping of the sewer work in the amount of $5,860. And then if you scroll down a little bit further, 76400, that was for the storm sewer repairs. And then 76401, the first, well, a big chunk there paid for the West Avenue sidewalk project. And then down 76407, that's to WHKS for the sidewalk there as well. Sewer. So I'm asking for the approval for the accounts payable for September 16th in the amount of $96,666.01.
Any further discussions or questions for Chris?
Is the question that starts over here, is that board?
I was thinking back when Chris was asking me a question, I believe that was for part of that repair on Fourth, because they came in and then you weren't able to do some of the work. And that storm, the other one for Schumacher, that number was actually for West Avenue storm, the extra storm work.
Thank you.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Passes 5-0-0. Thanks, Chris. Public comments. Individuals may address the city council about any item of concern. Speakers must state their name and limit the remarks to 5 minutes. Do we have any public comments? I will close that portion. We'll jump to 8A, unfinished business, resolution of 2020 2021-13 certified preliminary levy.
Yep.
Kimberly,
You'll be happy for you, Resolution 2021-13 for the adoption of the budget and levy collectible in 2022. You will see there was an increase almost in the entirety. That was due to our bonding issue. I do not, it's a 9.68% increase. But remember, that is a levy increase and not necessarily a tax increase because our taxable market value increased. And as that increases, the cost per dollar for tax goes down. So last year we had a big jump up in marketable value in houses. So we did have a little bit higher increase than we thought. So we'll have to wait and see how this comes back. We're hoping we have to set this levy, but we can only go down from here. So if we decide in December to adopt the formal budget, then if we can find some cost savings between now and then, which sometimes we do, we can bring the levy down, or you guys can choose not to. You could put it someplace else. That choice is yours. So this is the proposed levy, and the final levy will be certified in December.
when do we normally find out that marketable? Where
It's
that
just starting to come in now, but it's, so we should be able to find out fairly shortly.
in the next month, you think? So we'll kind of know where we stand.
Mhm.
Any more questions for Kim on the budget?
No
Yeah.
questions. I have 0 questions. Pass them all. Good.
I'll make a motion then to approve resolution 2020-13.
I'll second that.
Any further discussions? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Passes 5-0-0. Thanks, Kim. New business, approved 2021 police memorandum of understanding. Tina and I on the personnel committee met with the police union concerning a wage opener because we left that undecided, and we've come to agreement to doing a 3% increase for the police for 2022, and then I think their contract negotiations for a new 3 years will open up again next year. So I want to thank Tina for her time on doing that, and both parties had agreed on 3%, so we just need a motion to approve the resolution or approve the 2020 police memorandum of understanding.
Make that motion.
Any further discussions? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, passes 5-0-0. 9B, Tina and I again sat with the Public Works. We had another wage opener for that one. That was pretty quick. Both, actually, the police and the Public Works was pretty quick and a lot easier this time than it has been in the past. So again, we approved 3%, just like we did the police department for the Public Works for the 2022. And again, their union contract is up next year that Tina and I will open up and discuss that at that time. So I just need a motion to approve the 3% for Public Works for 2022.
I'll make that motion to approve the 3%. Second.
Any further discussions? Again, I want to thank Tina for her time helping out with that. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Passes 5-0-0. 9C, Resolution 2021-14. Resolution approving the support of the North Zumbro Sanitary Sewer District Regional Wastewater Treatment Facility bonding bill requests. Mr. Bill.
Our batteries just went.
You can take mine or the extra one.
So in your packet is a resolution. So just a little bit of background. So I think as some of you are aware, we have a legislative committee, and our goal is that during the 2022 legislative session that will start in January, that the North Zumbro Sanitary District will be included in a bonding bill, which would in theory be passed in May of 22. So to that efforts, we've been working with our House and Senate members to get in. There's 3 bonding bills that are prepared every year. There's a House bonding bill, a Senate bonding bill, and a governor's bonding bill. Ideally, we want to be in all 3, but at the bare minimum, we want to be in one of the 3. The Senate and the House bonding bills are being drafted. The Senate does a bonding tour where they get on a bus and they drive and look at projects. We have been told we'll be included on that, but that's scheduled to be coming up next couple of weeks. The House, we're not really sure where we stand in the House, but the third leg of that, the governors, is we have started, we want to get on the governor's bill. So part of that, the governor's office has a list of requirements of which we've satisfied. I think all of the requirements are in the process of satisfying them. The last one is they do ask that we have a resolution of support, that they provide sample wording. If we have more than one project, we have to rank them. In this case, we only have one project. So basically, that's what this resolution does. It says, this is our project, this is our number one priority, and it's basically spells out the other requirements that they've requested from us. So what we're looking for tonight is passing the resolution, then we will send that back off to the MMB office. Minnesota Management Bureau is the legislative, I'm sorry, is the governmental body that handles this for the governor's office.
Do we have people spearheading this from the district, helping out the touring with, or is that pretty much all your office?
So that's myself, Brian, Pine Island, and Wanamingo are the committees. So that's our group of people. Yep.
So, I mean, they're the ones that'll spearhead it.
Well, yep. And then ultimately, Mayor, we will be, when they do their bonding tour, we'll have the mayor usually present and we'll have something set up. We haven't got to that point yet, but ideally what would happen is they'd come to City Hall, we'd give them a short presentation, give them some, cookies and lemonade, you speak to it, the rest of us would speak to it, et cetera.
And the reason I asked is I know when Tina and.
We did beef sandwiches, that was the deal.
Make sure they're here at
I'll
lunch.
bring that down.
And then,
Because I know Tina and Brad, when they had done Jefferson, they had a nice video.
Right.
Put that
We couldn't, it was too late for us to get on the tour. So we took the tour to them.
yeah, so right now what we have is we are in the process of documenting a handout, basically something kind of similar to what we had on Jefferson. And then also this will get assigned, assuming we make it through one of the three bills, it'll get assigned to a committee. And then they will be testifying at the Capitol in front of a committee, and so on.
Perfect.
And then our center, or representative.
Of them, or
Will be your-
we'll be also in the committee hearings and shepherding that through. Yep. So I will make a motion to approve resolution 2021-14. Do you want the whole thing? Just 2020-14,
That's where-
2021-14?
Oh, sorry.
Jumping on your thunder, Chris.
Any more questions for Bill? All in favor? Opposed? Passes 5-0-0. Thanks, Bill.
Thank you.
Get it done. 9D, Resolution 2020-115, a resolution in support of Goodhue County ARPA funds.
Is that me?
Kimberly.
Okay, so we all know that they're changing some of the radio formats, et cetera, and which is going to require the replacement of radios for for all of our first responders. The cost of the radios anticipated is about $5,000 each. And so they are asking, the area fire departments and emergency services people are asking for some of the ARPA money from the county to fund purchase, all or a portion of the purchases of these radios. Because honestly, their budgets just don't have the room to do it. So we're doing a resolution of asking you to sign a resolution of support so that we can present that.
Any more questions for Kim? This is a motion to approve the resolution 2021-15.
Radios included for the fire department. Police department as well. Or that on a different budget?
Budget or different fund?
Different budget.
We already made that purchase.
Yep. Different way. And that was 40,000, I think, just for our officers. So very substantial.
I'll make a motion.
To approve resolution 2021-15. No,
Does fire have to stay on that? I don't.
I just don't know.
It probably, Matt, do you think the fire,
Probably not.
Don't have to stay. Okay, okay. Do we have a second?
I'll second that.
Any further discussions? All in favor? Opposed? Passes 5-0-0. Thanks, Kim. 9E, 435th Avenue, County Road 6, street lighting. Mike?
So this was originally when we were working on the County Route 6 project. They had asked us, and we've had some requests from residents for a streetlight down there. If you go down through there, there's streetlights at the lower half of Sugarloaf Parkway and the lower half of the golf course entrance there. And we would be splitting this cost with the county on the light itself, and then we would take over the small monthly bill.
Any more questions for Mike? I just need a motion to approve that street lighting. Any further discussions? All in favor? Opposed? Passes 5-0. Thanks, Mike. 9F, West Avenue Sidewalk Pay Request. Mr. Bill.
So this pay request was approved, as Chris mentioned, under the accounts payable. So this is the breakdown of that request. Basically, if you want more detail. Otherwise, since you've already approved this, no action is required unless there's any questions.
We need a motion on that, though, don't we, Bill? Oh, we already did that with the council.
Yep.
Yeah, I got it. All right. Any more questions for Bill on that? Thanks, Bill. 9G, committee to study the proposed Christ Lutheran School construction. Mr. Olson.
City staff had met with the Christ Lutheran committee, building committee, and they sound like they're going to be moving forward with starting the building of the school next year. And we've looked at and are requesting that we just put a committee together because there's quite a bit of work from the city side to get that put in there. Part of that is the streets, and then that corner down there, the township road is kind of a good turn, and trying to make some decisions how to move forward and timing of all that.
So you're looking for help on the committee? I guess I was instructed that I would be on it and they would like to have another council member, which I think Bob, was told. I think Brian had told me.
Yeah, so I think the committee was, from what I understood from Brian, the committee was put together on that. So.
Yeah, and I think, Brian, I think it was me and Bob. So.
I guess they probably wanted a motion on that.
Who else is going to all be on there than me and Bob and you and Brian?
Brian and Bill.
And Bill? And you've already talked to them a little bit, right? You had a meeting.
Yeah. So just a little elaborate, a little more. Mike, we started meeting with them 2 years ago, and we laid out some staff provisions. And, as far as, there's a lot of things to consider as far as payment, as Mike mentioned, the road, parkland dedication, how do we pave 9th Street? That's not to that point, by Dorothea, Anthony, as well as several other items. So we gave them preliminary direction. Now they've raised money and come back. So now we got to make some final determinations. And we have some big dollars involved for both the city and for them. So.
Perfect.
And I believe, was there the preliminary drawing, was that?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Correct. And that reflects a lot of the discussions that have been going on over the last 2 years. So they've actually done a nice job incorporating that. The main thing, as Mike mentioned, is we have things outside of their development that have to occur or be considered. The main big cost item for the city is as Mike called it, the hairpin turn, what to do with that. And we have some other ideas as well that we want to bounce off of the committee members.
So I assume the committee would be Bob and I, Mike, Bill, and then Brian.
Yeah, and I think Dylan as well.
And
So.
Dylan. Perfect. So we just need a motion to approve that. Any further discussion? All in favor? Opposed? Passes 5-0-0. Thanks, Mike. 9H, annexation petition for a parcel abutting 206 Walnut Street. Dylan, I'll let you take that one.
Yeah, so we recently received about 2 months ago a formal petition for annexation for unaddressed parcel of land on our northern border. The map is towards the back of your packet. It abuts 206 Walnut Street to its northern border. And essentially, the legal criteria has been met. I've been working with the state to get some of these documents in. We're willing to proceed based on last Tuesday or this past Tuesday's planning commission meeting. Some of the considerations we considered was during annexation, we need to choose an appropriate zoning classification for it. We cross-referenced this zone and area with our city's comprehensive plan and the future land use map. The owner disclosed that there's no special assessments on the property, which is important because when you're annexing land and there's special assessments, the one acquiring the land has to pay for them. We talked over the tax base increase and the cost to acquire this land, which would essentially be, me and Kim worked on it, estimates are about $40 a year for the next 2 years, and it's around 8 acres of land. Some notable items are the current property owner disclosed that he's been approached by developers to use this land for development, and we told him to disclose to them in the sale of this land, whenever that may be, that they should meet with us because we have plans for the area. The area needs servicing of utilities, and we would eventually like to service loop our Highland subdivision on our northern border. So there's some good things going for it. But we told them to disclose that and have them meet with us, and we would just, or I should say the planning commission recommends approval of the annexation, all things considered, and we would just need a motion to proceed with annexation by ordinance for this PID. And did I get everything right, Bill?
Yep.
Anything you want to add?
Maybe just one thing to add, and that is, it's always a little bit of a struggle when we have a property that doesn't have sewer and water to it. So depending upon the use of the property, so if it's mini storage, well then, okay, well then they don't need sewer and water, but what happens if it becomes something else? Or what happens if they annex in, it sits vacant, and then the people to the north of them annex in, and they need sewer and water, and sewer and water has to go across this property. Generally speaking, when you're annexed in, you need to pay for sewer and water and maybe potentially storm sewer across your property front. So it's the timing, it's the chicken or the egg, it's the timing. Then who pays for that? So that's what Dylan was referring to. We want to make sure they're aware of that and having those discussions, because ultimately we don't want the city to have to pay for sewer and water down the road. So I think, Tina, you've referred to it in the past. I think one time you said, how many of these agreements exist? Well, this is how these agreements, this is how they come to be. Matt can attest to that, where we have, people don't sell their property in order, here, they sell them when they, based on their own criteria. They don't sell them in north to south or low to high like we would like. And this is just another example of that. But that's not a reason to not annex it, though. It just means we have to get that stuff figured out, as Dylan alluded to.
Any more questions for Dylan or Bill?
Okay. Zoning meeting, did we designate this as C2? Is that going to be part of this ordinance, Dylan, or are we doing that down the road?
Correct. We discussed the appropriate zoning classification, which our future land use map has that area as mixed use. It's better suited for commercial, not residential along Highway 58, which that's what mixed use would allow. And then as far as which commercial classification, it's highway commercial because it abides by all those zoning ordinances being on a highway. So C2, I don't know if we have to add that into our motion to approve an annexation, but C2, there's other fun stuff too. And this still has to go off to the state for approval as well after it would be approved here.
And I do know we discussed C2 at planning and
Yep.
zoning, so.
Yep.
Probably,
Good to say.
probably should keep that otherwise the default is on one.
No, I would just make sure you get C2.
Yep.
But we have the notes from planning and zoning. So I just need a motion to approve the annexation.
We wanted to say annexation petition.
C2.
C2.
It's an annexation by ordinance to bring this parcel of land in as C2. And I don't know if we want to spell out the PID as well because it's unaddressed.
The motion in a second. Any further discussion?
That's
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Passes 5-0-0. Thanks, Dylan. Reports, Kimberly.
Just wanted to make you aware that due to festival setup, et cetera, we will be closed at City Hall tomorrow afternoon. We're still available to be contacted, but we won't be in the office per se. It gives us a little freedom to go out and do what needs to be done. So that was Miranda shot that out on our information system. So
Perfect.
that's it.
Thanks, Kim. Chief.
Just a couple of things. Tomorrow we'll be conducting interviews for a full-time police officer. We have 6 interviews. So we had one candidate drop out based on our selection process. And I just wanted to mention September 11th, we had a couple of donations come in to the police department. One being from a family garage sale that wanted to support the local police, and they brought in a financial contribution of $73. And we had the 10th annual Jacobs Run that came to the VFW. Over 200 motorcycles come through, and they were making pit stops in several communities and donating funds to the police and the fire departments. And the police department received a check for $500. And so I believe our intent will be to reinvest that into potential volunteering in the future. So I think that's a suitable way to use those funds. So, but that is all I got.
Perfect. Thanks, Chief. Thank you. Matt?
I don't know if we're right now. Well, or wait, that way. Okay, nothing.
One reminder, Brian's mentioned the last couple meetings, next Wednesday, 7 o'clock is our first of 2 Jefferson public meetings. So be here at City Hall, 7 o'clock. PM, yeah, PM.
Is it the 23rd?
Is that next Wednesday?
That's the Thursday.
22nd, Wednesday.
Okay.
Perfect. Thanks, Bill.
Thank you.
Dylan?
As Ken mentioned, we're going to be doing some more festival work tomorrow. So I just wanted to remind everyone, the festival is this Saturday. If you're free to participate or stop on down or partake in any fun activities going on. Other than that, another report would be this yesterday, the EDA approved their budget for the next year. So those are my reports.
Thanks, Dylan. Right. I just had one quick little thing. I know Dylan has worked very hard for this festival. I know he's been stressed and I appreciate it. And I know the city staff has, so I just wanted to give a quick shout out that Dylan has worked very hard on it and being a newbie to it, been a learning curve, but I want to appreciate Dylan for working so hard so far. So, Sarah. Yeah. Corbett? Greedy?
No, nothing.
Meeting adjourned.
I'll just see the cat.